Well, here they go again. This time it's Steve Bannon. First it's Scaramucci. Then it's this one. Then it's that one. All these people ostensibly going to the West Wing to, quote unquote, serve the president, serve the agenda of the American people, serve the administration. No, they're there to serve themselves, make money, write books, get headlines, get on CNN, blast the president, make news. Nobody ever heard of Anthony Scaramucci or gave a rat's tail who this guy was before he embarrassed himself with his 2-day stint as communications director and his drunken tirade to a reporter in New York at 10 p.m. Now he's back on CNN. I don't really care what he has to say. Now he got Steve Bannon. We're going to call him Quisling. Quisling Bannon. If you don't know who Quisling is, look it up. He was a member of parliament in Norway who took over the Norwegian government and was Hitler's puppet. Basically, when the Germans invaded Norway, Quisling seized the radio stations in their capital city in Oslo and said he's in charge. And he was a new prime minister, and he stayed there until 1945 when the German regime and the Nazi regime surrendered. And then he was tried, convicted of treason, and shot in a firing squad. And therefore, now we have the acronym Quisling. So let's call this Quisling Bannon. Steve Bannon, there he goes again. Can't keep himself out of the news because he's infatuated with himself. And look, this is the same crowd that has been twisting everything, twisting everybody. Any opportunity for any of these people to feign relevance, they do it. And Bannon's whole effort yesterday with these quotes in the book calling Donald Trump Jr.'s actions treasonous, which is an asinine, absurd statement, and criticizing Ivanka and criticizing the family and criticizing that and criticizing this is all for his own self-grandizement, twisting things, lying about things, falsehoods, so that he could have his day in the sun, because after his disastrous decisions in Alabama, and he sucked people down with him like me that backed him on it, after that, now he's irrelevant. So he's got to come out and make these quotations in this book. Now, here's the other thing. Why was this guy, Wolf, even allowed in the White House? I mean, that's my question. Like, who made that decision? Like, you're trying to run an administration. You're under fire by the entire legacy media. They bash you 24/7. Do you really think somebody is going to come in and write a book on you and say anything positive when it's not going to sell? What's going to sell is what he did, this guy, Tom Wolf. Fire and fury. Now everybody's going to buy it. He becomes a millionaire. Why was he there? You want to write a book, write it after the administration's over. Then write all your books you want. In the meantime, he got one agenda. Why don't you even spend time talking to him? Don't you have things to do? Don't you have an agenda to get done? Don't you have infrastructure to pass? Don't you have to keep the government open? Don't you have a budget battle coming up? Weren't you working on tax reform, health care, Obamacare, premiums? Why are you talking to some guy writing a book 6 months in? Why? That's my question. Why was he there? Who allowed him? Why was Tom Wolf even there? Sitting around on sofas on the taxpayer dime. Why don't you go out and do your damn job, which is serve the president's agenda to move the country forward, increase wages, get better jobs, get us out of these wars? Why don't you do that? Curtail illegal immigration. Fix our broken immigration system that drives down wages with ridiculous chain migration policies and lottery visas and HB1 visas for sale and everything else they do. Why don't you fix that instead of sitting around in your office hobnobbing with somebody writing a book 6 months in that you have to be an imbecile not to think it's going to blast everything about Trump and the administration to do one thing, halt the agenda. Why would you do this? That's my question. Somebody answer me that. And as far as Quisling Bannon, look, Steve Bannon is not a strategist. Steve Bannon is an opportunist. Now, Steve Bannon came to the Trump campaign after he was a nominee. The people that were in the campaign at the beginning, like Corey Lewandowski and John Fredericks, me, and people of that nature, we were there when he came down the escalator. We were there when he was a joke in the media. We were there when the New York Daily News on that day put a clown suit on him and put him on the front page. We were there when he was at 1% and he had 16 other people in the race. We were there. I was there because I believed in him and his agenda. Bannon came after we won the nomination. And let me tell you something. I don't know what Bannon did there. I tell you what Kellyanne did. Kellyanne Conway ran the campaign. She won the election, not Bannon. Kellyanne Conway ran the show. Then he becomes White House counselor. What did he accomplish? Nothing. Healthcare? Nice job, Steve. Charlottesville? Great advice on that one, Steve. Alabama? Another winner, Steve. Then they fire your ass. And now we get this. Quisling Bannon. You're there in the White House as a counselor to serve the president's agenda. That's what your job is. As a counselor, you're there to serve his agenda. You don't believe in his agenda, and you don't want to work for the American people, and you want to serve yourself. I don't really give a rat's tail what you do. Get the hell out. No, instead you have to get fired. You're not relevant. And now this. This is what now we have to deal with. Instead of talking about infrastructure, the budget, DACA, the important policies going forward, North Korea, China dumping steel, dumping aluminum, taking us out of that business, burning coal, all the things that China's doing. Chain migration. No, what are we talking about? Steve freaking Quisling Bannon. This is why we're going nowhere, because of the people in the White House that don't support the president's agenda, that are there for their own personal reasons, whether to be make money or something else. But they're not there because they don't believe in the agenda. If they were, why would you be talking to Tom Wolf? And why would you be popping off? So I'm done with Bannon for life. I'm done. He's an opportunist, an egomaniac, beyond the pale. He had no impact when he was there in that White House. He screwed everything up he did. He got fired. Look what happened when he got involved in Alabama. How'd that go? They just seated Doug Jones yesterday. So here's my question. How do Bannon's false and lying comments help the president's agenda? Can somebody call in and answer me that question? How does this help, Steve? How does this help move the agenda forward? Can somebody explain it to me? Because I can't figure it out. How does this help the movement that you go around saying you're part of and a leader of? How does this help the movement go forward? How does this help make America great again? How do comments disparaging the president, personally, his family, Ivanka and Eric and Donald Trump Jr. and calling him a treason and blasting the president, how does this help the agenda? How does this give anybody a better job? How does this give anybody a raise? How does this move the country forward, build a road, fix Amtrak, solve immigration, build the wall? How does this do any of that? Steve Quisling Bannon. I don't know. Maybe you just should tell me, because I have no idea. I don't know how Steve Bannon's comments helped anything except himself. So now he has another day in the sun where all the media now can fawn all over him like CNN. They're fawning. They hated him. Now they're like puppy dogs in heat. They just fawn over him. Oh, Steve Bannon, please, Steve. Oh, Steve, you said these bad things about Trump. We love you now. Give us more. This is all about Steve Bannon. Let me just ask you something else. Who the hell elected Steve Bannon to anything? Didn't the Mercers put him in that job as chairman? Didn't Rebecca Mercer and his father fund his Breitbart effort? Aren't they his financial contributors? He came to the campaign late. Kellyanne ran the show. He gets fired. He has a disaster in Alabama. The guy can't even shave half the time. Now he's marginalized. So he makes up lies and touts garbage for his maniacal quest for relevance. That's your Steve Bannon. I mean, I'm just beside myself on this whole thing. And this is going to go on now for the next, 5 days, right? All day yesterday, all day today, all day tomorrow, and then all day Sunday on the talk shows, and then Monday when they recap the talk shows. You're going to get till Wednesday before somebody can have a conversation with the legacy media about something that matters. Why? So that Steve Bannon and these other people can get their quotes in a book by Tom Wolfe, who, why the hell was he even there? And by the way, what Bannon was commenting on, let me tell you something. He was not even with the campaign. The Donald Trump Jr. comments about meetings or treason or whether or not his father was involved in any of this, Bannon was not there, was not in Trump Tower, he was not with the campaign, he was not around. So it's pure speculation. And when he joined the campaign, didn't he sign a disclosure? Didn't get paid a lot of money? And for that, you have to sign a disclosure? And I want to know who let Tom Wolfe sit in the White House for hours 6 months in. You might do that in your last 3 months. I mean, you got this huge agenda. They got one thing accomplished in there, and they're sitting around talking to an author, writing a book on Trump that they, thought was going to be positive? Yes, Michael Wolfe is going to write a positive book on Donald Trump. So, yes, come right in. Sit right here on the couch, right in the West Wing. Make yourself comfortable, Michael. Would you like a hot cup of coffee or a cold soft drink? Are you comfortable? Do you need a plug? Do you need to charge your phone or your computer? Do you need free Wi-Fi access? Michael Wolfe, anything you want, because we know you're here to get the truth out about how well this White House runs. Come on in. And look, if you're hungry, we'll get you lunch, we'll get you breakfast, we'll get you bagel. How do you take your coffee? Is it hot enough, Michael? Who the hell let this guy in there? I mean, who's got time for this? This has infuriated me today. And I am sick and tired of these people. We are 1 year into this administration that has the potential to be the most transformative time in 150 years. And what do we get? Steve Bannon, Quisling, and Michael Wolfe, and whoever else is out there. Profiting. They don't want the truth. They want to make money. The Trump administration, for these people that blast them, is a money-making machine. New York Times, make money. CNN, get more advertising. Blast Trump 24/7. And that's where the money is. This isn't about moving the country forward, the agenda, journalism. It isn't about anything but making money. And Steve Bannon's ego. Quisling Bannon. Then he gets on his radio show last night on Sirius XM. By the way, Steve Bannon, who's supposed to be the champion of the deplorables and working people, his radio show is not free. You have to buy it. So much for that, Steve. Why don't you do it like I do and go free over the airwaves? See, Steve, I don't have Rebecca Mercer buying up stuff for me. I have to go out and actually sell this. Unbelievable. I am infuriated. I'm so sick of these people. All of them. Every last one of them in there that went in to serve themselves rather than serve this president and his agenda. And I said this earlier today. It's easy for me to do this. It's easy. I didn't come late. I came first. I didn't come for the money. I came for the agenda. I came first. Why? Because I believe in the president and his agenda. I believe it. I'm a true believer. When you are a true believer in something, in Trumponomics, when you put the whole thing together, that he's been, by the way, saying the same thing for 30 years, following him, I'm a true believer. Corey Lewandowski, true believer. That's why it's easy to get upset over things like this, which are not agenda-based or belief-based, but they're based on yourself. I go back and ask you the same question. These comments that Steve Bannon made to Michael Wolfe, what purpose did they serve other than to help Steve Bannon's press clippings, or to make Steve Bannon more money, or to make Steve Bannon relevant again? Forget make America great again. It's make Bannon relevant again. as they're not relevant. He's not relevant. Disaster in Alabama. The guy's been a disaster in everything he's touched. I got sucked into his mess. And now this. Like, when he was talking to this guy, did he not think this was going to be the reaction of everybody, or what he just did to think it through? Half of it lies and falsehoods. So now we set the agenda back another precious day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. They've only got 7 months. In August, it's over. Everybody goes out and campaigns. This president, he has from his State of the Union speech on January 30th until the first week in August. He's got 6 months. We are wasting valuable time. That's why I'm so upset today. And until Trump supporters out there stop buying into these people and this nonsense, it's going to continue. Let's surround the president with true believers that believe in his agenda, that want to move it forward, like Kellyanne Conway, Hope Hicks, Kellyanne Sadler, people that have been there. That's what I'm talking about. And many others. Julia Hahn. People that have been there from day one. Not these people that come in for self-grandizement and a personal agenda in order to get prestige or make money or both. John Fredericks Radio Network. I've had enough. I'll be right back.